Hello and welcome to 11th Weekly. Well, we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time before we played that classic game from our childhood that we all remember. You know the game. It has a certain fox who has a spaceship and he flies around with a certain team. I think you know the game I'm talking about. It's Star Fox Assault. Yay!
Do a barrel roll. 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 Do a barrel roll.
That's right, Star Fox Assault. That other Star Fox game for the GameCube that no one seems to remember. Now me, the first time I ever saw this game was actually during a demo at a Target. I saw the game and I got really excited. I was like, yes, I love Star Fox 64. This is for my new system, the GameCube. It's a non-miss. How wrong I was. This game was a bigger letdown than the co-op system in Fable 2. That's right, Peter Monhill. You think I forgot? I don't forget people like you. I always remember you because you ruined things for me. After Fable 1, I've hated everything you've ever done. You broke my heart, Peter. You broke my heart. So I foolishly decided to give this game another shot. And guess what I found? Past Brian was as dead on as present day Brian. This game blows harder than Fable 2's magic system. That's right, Peter. I'm not done with you yet. No, shh. Don't you worry. You'll get your day of reckoning. Just you wait. Just you wait. I want to start off by telling you what they did right with this game. 1. The game looks good. For a GameCube game, they put a lot of polish into updating the Star Fox universe. The R-Wings look cleaner and more futuristic, and the cutscenes are less like puppets with their mouths flapping. And 2. Nope, that's it. I hate this game, and I rarely hate anything. Now I'm going to try to explain this to you guys in a calm and rational manner. The game's story is both confusing and stupid. There's a war going on, but then some sort of bug machine shows up, and then it turns people into like the Borg from Star Trek, and then it's a who cares-a-thon until the end. But then I thought, if the story was bad, at least I'm playing a Star Fox game. How could they mess that up? Oh my God! This is what is the? Why are you doing? What am I doing on the ground? What the hell is this? It's like they had two good games and said, you know what the kids of today want? They want to feel totally out of control with their character, constantly panicked, and have no rewarding feeling at the end. That's what kids want. For the sake of transparency on the controls, I'll tell you what I did. I set them all to default. The only thing I messed with was a look-in version on the R-Wing. Other than that, these are the default controls. Who is this game meant for? There's so many problems. I barely know where to begin. To bang hard, left or right, it's one button, the left trigger. Except, you seem not to bank at all. And in fact, I found you turn harder when you just use the stick instead of the button while in all range mode. Next, the brake. Oh, how I hate the brake. It stops you, and I mean it really stops you, dead in your tracks. You can't turn, you can't make corrections while stopped. You literally have just pulled the e-brake while in mid-flight. It's like someone tried to parallel park in the sky. Yup, put a quarter in the meter, because we ain't going anywhere for a while. If you hit the Y button, you do a boost, which basically does you no good and only goes a short distance. The B button will fire a lame bomb that has a terrible blast radius, and that's even if you even find a bomb to begin with. The C stick allows you to do a loop-de-loop. Whip E. And the A button allows you to fire your lasers. Those who have played Star Fox and Star Fox 64 like myself know that the double blue lasers are always better than a bomb, because you can fire them infinitely and as fast as you can hit the button. But not here, not in Star Fox Assault hell. These lasers only go a short distance, and you can only fire a certain amount at a time. I tried mashing the A button with every trick I knew, and it always fired the same. But that's not even the worst part about them. Double blue lasers only work if you have both of your wings. And unfortunately, Star Fox Assault went with the new paper mache R-wing structure, which allows your wings to rip off at the slightest touch. Whoops. Well, looks like you're drifting through space with a single green laser again, huh? The game counts on you overusing the lock-on and charge laser method to defeat everything, even bosses. I hate this. I feel limited having to boot everything up before shooting. It's just not as run and gun fun as the other games. The story and control section is done. It's time to move on to the voice acting. No, Craig.
Ryan.
Fine. Sorry folks, but the control section isn't quite done yet. We only talked about the flying controls, which is only half the game. The real nightmare begins on the ground. That's right, Star Fox, the game about flying planes through space, takes place half on the ground, in some of the worst controls and camera angles I have ever seen. Fox jumps out of his R-Wing carrying a gun that looks suspiciously like the assault rifle from Halo and proceeds to play a third-person shooter. Excuse me while I get physically ill. I can't do this. I can't. The game makes you run around, picking up different guns and blasting spider robots or something, and it becomes, Fox, you need to use your shitty radar to run around for the next 20 minutes to find enemy spawners. They keep releasing a ridiculously high number of enemies that you can't possibly dodge or see until it's too late. Also, help me! They're on my tail again! Oh, and did I forget to mention that as you're struggling to find these things, your team is constantly going to be calling out for help. This makes you have to abandon your search for a time and allows new enemies to spawn. And did I also mention that unlike saving your team while in an R-Wing, Ground Fox has a ton of trouble doing this. It's so difficult to get a lock on enemies. A lot of times they go out of range and you can't shoot them until they make another pass. Then you might be thinking, what if I use the Landmaster? Well, unfortunately, the Landmaster in this game is terrible. It moves a lot slower, it's harder to control, and it fires a third as fast as it does in other games. Matter of fact, with the way it's moving, I think I'm gonna be sick again. The ground and tank controls are just awful, and the camera didn't help anything either. Most of the time, I found myself just running past enemies in a vain attempt to speed the game up. But what made it even worse was that as I played through this game, I had to listen to the iconic music from the franchise. From Star Fox and Star Fox 64, I had to hear all the great music on games that I could have been playing instead of this one. To make things even worse, the voice acting in this game was terrible. Every character sounds like they're underwater and in a fishbowl. Listen to this clip.
It's just so crazy. I can't believe Andros had so darn many troops left behind.
They're almost all common scum, in it for the money.
They're quite dedicated for a bunch of hired guns.
And the dialogue was even worse. It was so bad, in fact, at one point I had to mute the screen. But that only helped a little bit because at the bottom they had subtitles going constantly. Other than the graphics, I cannot think of one good thing to say about this game. The ground segments were barely playable, the storyline was lackluster, the voice acting is just terrible. This game is a big steaming pile of Star Fox assault. I cannot recommend this game to anyone except for Peter Molyneux because he deserves punishment. That's why this game gets my rating of 1 Peter Molyneux out of Breen.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us for another week of 11th Moon Weekly.
Yes, hopefully you guys had a lot of fun, even though it was a terrible game. So it wasn't fun for me.
And we're going to start doing our comment section. I know we haven't done that in a little bit, but as you can see, we've been having some things go on for a little bit. We're in the middle of a move, and we've been trying to do this knowing that, you know, because him and I have been in different parts of the country at different times the last couple of weeks, and trying to move, knowing we had to move by this point, like, things have just been crazy around here, trying to do this. So
we're going to go ahead and catch up.
We're going to catch back up real quick here and try and catch up on everything. But the question that we last posed to you guys was when you went into something with low expectations and it actually decently surprised you with either how good it was or just good enough to where you went, wow, that was actually pretty cool. Mikey J said he had the same thing as you with Jack Reacher. He went into it not thinking it was going to be that great. He went in with his dad, and then he was like, oh, wow, that was actually pretty cool.
Not bad.
And then he commented because, you know, he won 2013. He won New Year's.
Well, he did. I know.
So.
That was quite an accomplishment.
Yep.
Strike Fear commented saying that he had watched Chronicle, and, you know, that's a pretty good one, too. I watched Chronicle somewhat recently, and I enjoyed that movie. Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. I saw it was like a little super. I'm a sucker for superhero crap in general.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't.
So I saw it. Actually, I went and saw it in theaters, and I was like, oh my gosh, superhero stuff. And I went and I was actually blown away by it. I really enjoyed it. Darkseid said that last time he did it was when he read Homestruck. He went into it with no positive expectations, and then he said it was actually a really good webcomic. And he said I looked like Hugh Jackman, because this is on the one where I did my hair up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's actually kind of what we did. I went into it and I just started messing with it, and I went, oh my gosh.
If you would have shaved, it would have been,
Yeah, well, we were debating on it.
Emma mentioned that she watched, The Hobbit. I loved the movie The Hobbit. Oh, that was one of my favorite movies that I've seen recently. I actually saw that twice in theaters, and I never see things in theaters twice, but yeah, that's definitely a good one to go low and come out high, because that's a good one.
Yeah. Colonel Burke, said that his last for the question was every game since Halo 2 he's been surprised by those afterwards. So, and then Chaylin also said that it would be probably Les Mis or Les Miserables.
Les Miserables. More Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it,
he said that he went into it thinking he wasn't gonna end up really liking it. And
see, that would be a tough one for me to watch, because I'm I'm not really big into musicals as much. So. But go ahead. Jalen Films commented on our co-op video saying co-op games, and
we're still confused of really what you even mean by that. Like, co-op games. Okay.
Arrow. It's like, okay, we like it, whatever.
Okay. And then also we had a couple comments on our Lansing video when we took the tour. The totally true tour of
Absolutely.
the Capitol building.
All facts.
All factual.
Yes.
Every single bit of it.
I hope you all learned.
Jalen said that it was something like what he used to take for their elementary school trips. They used to go there. And we never went there.
No.
I didn't, at least. No. That's the first time I've been there.
That's the first time I've ever been there.
And then Master
and we're not allowed back.
Master 2222 happened to see the secret ending or the alternate ending at the end of the video. So he was one of the few that stuck around to see
to actually watch it, because everybody thought it went dark.
Dark for 2 minutes and then nothing.
Exactly.
But to ask another question for this coming week, for Brian, this game was something that you had.
I had high expectations going into this one. I really did, because as I said, when I saw it when I was a kid, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great, because I love Star Fox 64 so much. I had such high expectations for this new one, and I was let down so horribly.
So when was the last time you did that with a game? You went into it was either a series or just something that you had read a lot about or heard a lot about. Went into it just going, this is gonna blow my mind, and it completely let you down, or at least the nearest thing to that. What was the top one that you can remember that really comes to mind? Do you have anything else besides Star Fox Assault?
Basically every game in Nintendo Power, because every game when I read it in Nintendo Power looked amazing, and then I finally get my hands on it, and I was so disappointed. With one exception, and that was the original Smash Brothers. That looked as cool on paper as it actually was.
Okay, and then also probably the Fable ones for you. We're not going to get into that right now.
We're not going to get into that right now.
We're not. We debate that all the time.
But just there's a reason. Yeah. There's a reason that he is. That's why he got the rating on this one.
Yep.
Peter Mon.
Probably the biggest gaming letdown for me, and I think I hyped it up myself, was Brutal Legend. I was like excited to play it. I was really excited to play it, and then just.
That's Jack Black, though,
yeah, it's
right?
the Jack Black game.
I love Jack Black.
I love Jack Black. Yeah. I like metal music, so it's supposed to be this whole like open world thing. I was like, dude, this is gonna be Grand Theft Auto with Jack Black and metal music. How could this be bad?
The guy who designed it was the guy who did Psychonauts as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it didn't do it. Like, it ended up being really, like, for me, I guess I just didn't expect it. I didn't really read into it too much.
Yeah.
I just kind of heard things and saw commercials and whatnot, and it ended up being like really like an RTS type game at times. And I'm not big. I'm not big on RTSs or tower defense. So when games start bringing in those elements, because that was one of the things that was almost ruined for me, was I think Assassin's Creed Revelations kind of had like a tower defense type element to it. And luckily, I only had to do it once, and after that, I was like, nope. I mean, that game would have.
You know me, I don't mind.
If I would have had to have played that consistently in Revelations with tower defense, I would have cracked the game and threw it away. But that's why I never finished Brutal Legend. I just didn't finish. I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to do RTS elements when I'm thinking, I'm gonna do other things. So
well, if I'm playing Star Fox, I want to play ground segments, so right. I get that.
Exactly. So that's exactly what that was. That's what it was to me. I can't really think of any of the other ones that were just a huge letdown. That was probably the biggest one I could think of.
Yeah, that's how it goes. You know, as you said, the Fable after Fable 1, every one of those makes me grind my teeth.
Yeah, we'll have a special thing on that a little bit later on for 11th. Yeah. So, but as always, guys, please click the subscribe button, like us here and on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to 11th Moon as well. Leave a comment down below, and always follow us on Twitter. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Was I just doing the Soldier Boy? Was that what that was? Cause you're hot, then you're cold, yes, then you're no, you're in, then you're out, you're up, and you're down. Wrong when it's right, it's black and it's white. I just forgot about that one. Black and it's white. We fight, we break up, we kiss, we make up. It's a great song.
Yeah.